4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the house today. We've been looking forward to this. We're happy that it's finally happening. He's not only big, he's not only strong.
Kudos.
Not only black. This man single-handedly is carrying the brand known as NWA. This man is a champion, but not just any champion. He is the national heavyweight champion. This man is going to revolutionize this industry in ways we are not even prepared for. This is a man who has more hair combined than the host of For the Love of Wrestling. Did I miss anything, my brother Flex Gumbo?
Just one thing.
Oh, one thing.
That man?
Yep.
He Tennessee country strong. Not just strong. Country strong.
How did I forget that? So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Big Strong MIMS is our guest.
Yeah. I gotta be like bigger and stronger right now. Even though I'm in pain. I gotta act like I'm not in pain right now. Like I didn't just hurt myself yesterday in the gym. Yeah, Big Strong MIMS. Woohoo, it's me.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Like I said, I've been better. I was literally this is the silliest thing ever because they say you don't hurt yourself whenever you're doing something dangerous. You hurt yourself when you're doing regular stuff, right? I think it was like Xavier Woods, he tore his Achilles. He was just running the ropes at a house show, like something simple. We all learned that day one, right? Yeah. I was just squatting. I was warming up on squats. Like I was doing my first warm-up set at 315. And then I go all the way down and I'm like, that don't feel good in my back. What's that? What's going on in my ribs? Did I just break a rib? I don't know what's going on. And then I come all the way up and I was like, that don't feel good. Literally said it out loud. That don't feel good. And I was like, you know what? Let me put the 315 back on my back. You know what? I've got to go to the next set anyways. We're gonna go up to 345. And so I put the 345 on my back and I stand up and I'm like, oh, that ain't good. That ain't good. It hurts to breathe. All right. Guess today is my whole day in the gym. Good thing my whole gym day was just one set of squats and absolutely nothing else. So, I'm the Big Strong MIMS thing right now. Hey, we're just gonna be normal, regular MIMS. There you go. Just for this podcast is the first and only podcast I've ever done where I've just been normal, regular MIMS, regular, normal MIMS, whatever you may call it. Because I'm hurt. I ain't that hurt. I'm hurt for today only.
Right. This is rest recovery MIMS. We'll go with that.
Yes, I like that one. Rest and recovery MIMS.
Hey, Star. Did you notice how he was just like, oh yeah, I was just doing 315 on the.
Oh, that was
I was like, 315.
That was a warm up.
Okay.
Just a little flex,
You got to start your day off light, when you're going to go work out. So a quick set of 10 on 315 is okay. That's normal. That's regular. That's rest and recovery MIMS. That's there you go.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? One day I will, in my mind, be like you, but I will stick with my little 185 until I get myself up there. So,
hey, we got to start somewhere, right? You can't be big and strong out the gate. You can't be big and strong out the plastic. You gotta get to that. That's hard work. Right. That's hustle. That's loyalty, respect, or whatever else they say. That's how you get there, right?
That's right.
Amen indeed. So, Big Strong MIMS. I got one question along with another question, but the first question is going to be a good one.
I was like, if it's just one, this is going to be super short.
No. This is a good one. This is our theme question. This is the question that we're going to get popular off of. So you're going to be the first. Big Strong Mims. How did you fall in love with wrestling?
Easy. So this always goes into the story I love to tell, and I love to tell different versions of it, but it's still the same story, same love story. WWE, Triple H's quad tear, whenever he returned, that is how I fell in love with pro wrestling. I had seen a few matches before then, right? But this was a moment. And that's something that people don't understand in professional wrestling, that they like, I think people will get there, or they kind of understand, but they don't know they understand it, right? The moments are what makes professional wrestling. It's the moments. It can be in a match, it can be in a promo, it can be in a backstage segment, but it's a moment. The moment that makes you think, I don't know what this is, but I love this. Or I don't know why I feel this way, but I do feel very strongly right now. The moment that gave me that passion was having him walk out, not knowing who Triple H was at the time. Because again, just flipping channels, maybe see a match or two or whatnot, didn't really move me. I was a kid. I was a young kid. I was probably I think 8, 9 years old at this point. But seeing him come out and seeing the reaction from the fans, and having the camera pan over the crowd and then pan back to him as he walked out, and it's you kind of can't even see him choke up too much. He's that good of a worker, brother. So you can't tell that he's so overcome with emotion, but you know that he has to be. So not even knowing that much about that moment, seeing it completely surface level, and seeing it's it's like that moment in the Boondocks, right? I don't know if I can cuss or whatever, but it was what was it? I think it was Thugnificent was talking about somebody getting beat up, and he was just like, "Man, what did he do to make niggas that mad?" And I'm sitting here watching Triple H, and I'm like, "Man, what did he do to make people this happy? Why are they so happy for this one dude coming out in denim on denim with leather? What? Not the fact that he's wearing a jean jacket on a leather jacket, and he's also got jean pants on, but how are these people going this crazy for this man?" And so I didn't understand it, but I felt it. I felt the goosebumps. I felt like this was important. I felt like this was a pivotal moment, not only in professional wrestling, but I'll be a little bit of a romanticizer here, but also in my life, because it did come full circle. That was the reason I decided I wanted to be a professional wrestler. That's what started the childhood dream, was seeing that moment, seeing him come down to the ring. In the promo was great. I can't even tell you that I fully remember the promo. I cannot say that I remember the promo. I went back and watched that segment again a few times a couple months ago, and I was like, man, I don't remember this promo, but I do remember this moment because it's making me feel the exact same way. I'm doing that thing The Rock does where he pulls out his forearm and he's like, the bumps can't contain him. That's me watching it all over again, and I'm so many more years older. I'm 25 years older, and I'm still just like, yeah, no, this is little kid Matthew watching this all over again. So seeing that and thinking, what did he do to make these people this happy? And thinking, I don't know what he did, but I need to be able to do the same thing. That's the thing that made me fall in love with wrestling. That's the thing that also made me want to become a professional wrestler, and probably your number one reason why I am doing this, why I believed enough to think, yeah, no, this is for me. This is my jam. This is what I do.
Love it.
That's so interesting. That was MSG 2002.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing about timing is that you flipping through the channels and seeing that was probably the only time that Triple H got cheered in that entire few year radius, because he was a heel before he got hurt, but this is when wrestling and real life intertwine. An injury like that, without social media, you don't really know, is he really gonna come back from it?
Yeah.
And he comes back, and it's this glorious return, and you flipping the channel and seeing this pop, which is absolutely astounding. If you didn't see that, if that moment never happened and he was just a regular heel, I don't know if we would be having this conversation today. So the timing, even though it was unfortunate for him, but the comeback was so amazing. So it's really delightful to hear that story of how you fell in love with wrestling.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably the best response I've heard to my retelling of that story. Just because I've never actually put thought to it. And I love thought experiments. I'm not a philosopher of a high caliber at all, but I do love the thought experiment of thinking, hey, what if this one thing didn't happen? And thinking back to it, if Triple H wasn't a part of the 2-man power trip at that time with Stone Cold Steve Austin, if they didn't have that match with Benoit and Jericho, if he didn't tear his quad in that match, then where would I be? Would I have
Right.
even started watching pro wrestling on a consistent basis? Would I have decided I want to do professional wrestling? I mean, some people don't get into professional wrestling until late in their lives. I was lucky to get into it super early, and I didn't have parents that encouraged it. A lot of people that get into it young, their parents encourage it. They're cool with it. My mom absolutely hated wrestling, thought it was garbage trash. I think it was more because of the wild antics of the Attitude Era, but my mom was not a fan, so she had it her way. Like, because I definitely caught a lot of ass whoopings when I was growing up. Anytime she'd walk in and see wrestling going on, she would whip my ass. Um, yeah, if she would have had her way, I would have never gotten into pro wrestling. I mean, she might be a little bit happier. I think now she's kind of happy with the whole pro wrestling thing because it worked out so well.
Right.
But she was still not a big fan of me doing pro wrestling for the first couple of years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So just to continue off of that, where was your beginning? How did you start? How did you get your schooling? At what age did it really begin for you?
Technically, how it began for me was 2017. So I'm born and raised from Clarksville, Tennessee. There was a promotion that finally started up there. There was a promotion beforehand. I think it was the Clarksville Wrestling Federation or something. And there was another local promotion that was started that had a higher budget that was ran by somebody who had been a part of TNA for a good while, and his name was Crimson. So Crimson, aka Anthony Mayweather, he started running his own promotion called Tried and True Pro Wrestling. So Crimson, how he gets there is like he's from Ohio. He moved to Tennessee mostly because of the military. He did a couple tours in Iraq or whatnot. A loyal soldier that found a new home base for himself. And with that new home base and settling down there and even doing his thing in TNA, he started up another promotion. And I was somebody who I wanted to ingest anything I could with wrestling. I had fallen out of love with wrestling in high school and then found a love for it again through my best friend who wanted to be a professional wrestler. He had wanted to be a professional wrestler since like middle school. He had been known as the wrestling kid in our high school, but we were really close. Especially because of amateur wrestling. We did a few years of that together in high school and in college. And so being such a big fan of wrestling, him getting me back into it. And the weird thing that got me back into it was he would just tell me, hey, Matthew, let's go watch like the Royal Rumble or whatever other big 4 pay-per-view. That's all I was watching with this guy. Right. He wrote me in to come and see that from WWE because during the time of like, late 2000s or whatnot, I'm in high school. I'm a 3-sport athlete. If I had it my own way, I'd be a 5-sport athlete. But hey, doing football, track, and wrestling, you're not really gonna have time for baseball or cross country. And I would have been the only dude on the volleyball team, and I don't think I looked that good in them booty shorts. But so I'm jumping all over, but it's a great story. So he takes me to a few wrestling shows. My first wrestling show ever was a Ring of Honor show. I think it was in 2010. It was whenever AJ Styles, if I'm wrong here, it may have been 2011. He took me to a Ring of Honor show that was in Nashville at the Asylum, where TNA started up and everything like that on the Nashville Fairgrounds. It was a Ring of Honor show. They were doing like a whole taping or whatnot. There was a bunch of people there that like now almost everybody on that roster is all in WWE. I think like Kevin Steen was still there. El Generico was still there. Roderick Strong was actually in a match with AJ Styles for his return after his breaking his back. And I didn't understand how important what I was watching there. The Viking Raiders were there, Hanson and Rowe. Actually, Cheeseburger got injured there or whatnot. I thought at first, it was like, just part of the show. No, until the ambulance showed up, I was just like, oh, wait, this is crazy. I'd never seen anything like that before. Besides, actually, you know what? I did see something like that later because I think I went to one of the Raws that were going on in Nashville while Punk was still holding the world title with Paul Heyman. and I saw the Miz get like his first or only injury, like him and Kofi Kingston. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Right, I'm getting sidetracked. This is what I do. So seeing those shows convinced me to start looking outside of WWE. And then because of looking outside of WWE, he's got me consistently watching every single Wrestle Kingdom or whatnot. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. I started going with him to Hooters to watch the big 4 pay-per-views around 2012, 2013, right? So I'm getting into the storylines going on with that, seeing, the Shield come in, seeing Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement, seeing Bray Wyatt. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start watching wrestling consistently again. It's been about 5 years since I watched. It's been since like 2008. I'm gonna start watching again, right? So that builds up my love for it. My boy goes through a breakup with his girlfriend at the time, and we have a man-to-man session. After that, we decide we're gonna do the pro wrestling thing together, right? So we decide we're gonna do that in 2013. I'm plotting along. I'm like, hey, yeah, I want to do this, but I don't know how. We get to 2015. That's where Crimson comes in. That's why I mentioned him beforehand. He starts his own promotion, Tried and True Pro, in 2015. I'm coming to every single show. I try to make my mission to be at every single show. I was so upset because the one show I missed, it was a Christmas show, and it was one of the best shows they actually had out there, and I completely missed it, right? Even to this day, my favorite match I've ever seen in person happened at one of these Tried and True Pro shows, right? Crazy Steve versus Jeremiah Plunkett in the casket match. Remember that for later. It's gonna be on the test. So when we get to 2017, a childhood friend of mine comes to me and says, "Hey, Mims, man, we need a security guard or whatever. Like one of our guys dropped out. Can you come and make it?" I was like, "Bro, I just started a new job. I'm getting paid good money." Hold on for 1 second. I call my job and I quit, and I go right there that same day.
Wow.
The show was going to be a big show. I was going to miss the show anyways if I would have went to work. But the show was going to be headlined by Jeff Hardy. And that was going to be a big deal for me. So I think it was like Art of War 2 or something like that was the name of it. And so you're going to have Jeff Hardy of all people in Clarksville, Tennessee. Like, yeah, it's a military town. A lot of people come through there. But like, bro, that's Jeff Hardy, dog. So I go to the show. I get there early, we're setting up and everything like that. I go into the bathroom, go take a piss. You'll never guess who walks in that bathroom.
No way.
Jeffrey Hardy.
Oh, man.
I'm like, how do I talk to this man? I'm sitting here in the middle of holding my dick, and it's only 2 like urinals and then the stall. So we're kind of just like chilling out, damn near shoulder to shoulder or whatnot. And I'm just like, wow. I don't know why I thought he was going to be way bigger than me. I'm like slightly bigger than this guy right now. But still, oh my God, this is Jeff Hardy. Oh my God. And, I forget whatever we said or whatnot, and I just didn't make it weird. And I expected myself to like fangirl over. This is the most famous person I met ever. And so I was just like, oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I decided to work that entire show, have a good time, playing security guy. Crimson puts me on the team after this point, right? So for the next year or so, I'm just doing whatever he asks. I'm a loyal soldier. Whatever you need, Mr. Mayweather, sir, absolutely. I don't care what it is. So, lost a bunch of jobs by either getting fired because of pro wrestling, quitting because of pro wrestling. And then a year later, the sacrifice is recognized, and that's where we start training. April 2nd, 2018, the Tried and True Academy, the Academy for Tried and True Pro opens up. And you'll never guess who the head coach is. The head coach and the beginner's class teacher is one half of the 2 guys that were in my favorite match I have ever seen in person, and that is Jeremiah Plunkett. Oh my God. You mean the NWA Mid-America champion right now? Jeremiah Plunkett from Caterpillar, Tennessee, with the grizzled white boy. Okay. All right. Yeah. No. It gets crazier because you'll never guess who's the intermediate coach. Just after I have my first match, and my first match happens to be with Jeremiah Plunkett on July 15, 2018 in Clarksville, Tennessee. You'll never guess who's going to be the intermediate coach. Oh my God, it's the other half of my favorite match that I've ever seen in person. TNA's Crazy Steve, TNA Tag Team Champion Crazy Steve. Oh my goodness. And then, lo and behold, 3 months after that, you'll never guess who becomes my advanced class trainer and the guy who trains me for the next year and a half. Is it the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Tom Latimer? Former TNA brand? What?
No
Get out
way.
of here. Oh my goodness. Who comes through this school after that? Does Camille come into this school to teach us a few things? Do people like Mickey James come in to spit a little bit of knowledge? Does Jax Dane come in and throw a couple seminars? Does Jerry Lynn himself come and throw a couple seminars?
Wow.
I forgot our now general manager of SmackDown, Nick Aldis, was there? What? Nick Aldis said to me and my best friend Miguel, he's still around in this story, you two, you guys are the best in this school. We want to do something with you guys. What crazy. Oh my goodness. Yes, all these things just happened all in abundance, and NWA is thrown in there somewhere because of the fact that all the connections are made, and Billy decides to do a pop-up show in 2019 in Clarksville, Tennessee with Tried and True Pro Wrestling, and there's old pictures you can see of me and Billy together, and lo and behold, who later in 2019 is a part of NWA Power on September 30th on the premiere episode, is in the third match ever with, across the ring, would you believe it, the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, but at the time, the NWA World Tag Team Champion, Tom, my coach Latimer. What? What? You'll never believe how things just fall into place. It's just stuff after stuff after stuff after stuff. Now, you would expect me to say, would you believe that I met Triple H? No, I haven't done that one. That one hasn't happened yet. It will happen. You know, sometimes they say don't meet all your heroes. I did meet Ron Simmons, who was a big hero of mine. I haven't met Booker T, which Booker T is the whole reason I even got these in the first place. One day he's going to know. One day he's going to know. But yes, that is a story of me in pro wrestling. That is leaving out a ton of details in the smaller parts of it, but that's the quickest way we can get through that whole story. So you know everything that led up to this point, almost.
That is amazing.
That's great. That's
amazing how everything worked out.
Oh yeah, I mean, it could have been luck of the draw, but again, like you talked about earlier, that one moment, that quad tear doesn't happen, we're not here. None of that crazy. This goes into this, and just because of this happens. None of that happens. Right. None of that. If that man had healthy quads at the time, where would we be?
Wow. Yeah, that's dope, bro. That's so, it's so much of like everything falling in place. And we're kind of going on a story like on that too, just on a small level, you know, really quick. We started this podcast not even 5 months ago, roughly. And we never thought that we would be even interviewing a champion, NWA, National Heavyweight Champion, like yourself. We was just doing it because we love wrestling and we just want to talk wrestling with each other. And now we get to chop it up with our boy, Big Strong MIMS.
Oh, shit. That's me. That's me.
Right.
And I mean, that's great. I mean, if anything, like, when it comes to professional wrestling, right, I think that anybody who has a passion for it, whether they're directly in that ring or just a part of the business, because I would like to say that, like, anybody who's a fan, anybody who's going to take the time to have a podcast, dedicate any time of their life to it, make pro wrestling their job in any sort of way. Even if you're just doing commentary, you could just be a YouTuber who's talking shit on the product, right? And there's plenty of those. I've worked
for sure.
I've worked with a YouTuber who just talks shit on the product of the NWA or whatnot, but still, I have a respect for everybody who's willing to take the time and show their fandom and show their passion. You don't have to like what I do. You don't have to think it's good. You can tell me, hey, burn your boots while you're still in them, brother. Get out of the fucking business. You can do all those things, but still, you are showing a passion for pro wrestling. And that's something I always appreciate because I've also felt that passion for it, maybe on a different level, maybe on the same level. I felt that for pro wrestling, so I always appreciate that. Anybody in or around the business, we keep this alive. And when people lose that passion, we lose this business.
Amen. Amen, brother. You know what I also like, and this is going to get into my next question for you, is that people may or may not like you, but I know somebody that put you top 100.
Hey,
PWI, Big Strong MIMS, numero CN. No, yeah, you. That's you.
Oh, that's
Number 100.
crazy. That's crazy. That's
Number
crazy.
100. So
This
how do
100.
you feel about that? Now you're a top 100 wrestler. Do you feel more like I should be top 50, or like I'm going to be grinding to get to that top 10, top 5, number 1 spot? Or is it just like smelling the roses, seeing like, damn, I really come a long way, especially with your story?
Yeah, honestly, like I mean, even in PWI, they only say I've been wrestling for 6 years. It's been 7 years, my boy. It's been 7 years. I think at the time, like they do maybe when they do the criteria or whatever, I was technically at 6 years. Because I think it's like from like July to July or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's something that's kind of had me to say the disbelief. I know it's made some people that are just like, professionally jealous of me or whatnot. And like that's not something to like toot my own horn, but everybody gets professionally jealous. Like I think I've been professionally jealous of other like pro wrestlers whenever I was first getting into the business. And you get on social media and you see everybody doing things and living these lives or having a really great facade. You get professionally jealous. You're just like, damn, I wish I could do that. Or man, that guy is good, but he ain't that good. Like I should be where he's at, or I should be doing even better than that. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Everybody goes through it, right? So I think that does make some people mad, and some people were upset because they're just like, that Mims guy, he sucks anyways. And I do kind of suck, just a little bit. I think we all suck in our own ways. But for me, it's still a state of disbelief because I have tried to learn to stop being my biggest critic. Because the fact that there's so many people that enjoy what I do, and it's surprising that I'll meet people all the time that are just like, "Oh, dude, I love you. Oh my god!" Like I've dated girls that are like, "Oh yeah, my best friend, her boyfriend is in love with you. He thinks you're the greatest wrestler of all time," and I'm like, "Wait, what?
That's not
Me?" Like people finding out, like telling their family. I think a friend of mine, a business partner of mine, and more importantly, a friend of mine. She is the granddaughter of former WWF world champion Ivan Koloff. She had told me she had traveled down. I think it was to Florida or something. Like maybe she used to stay in Florida, or she was working some sort of job there, some sort of program. And apparently, the entire staff knew who I was. Whenever she's just like, "Yeah, no, I just came from a show. I went to go meet up with my friend Mims," and they were like, "Big Strong Mims, Matt Mims, you even in NWA?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? Me? Who gives a shit what I do?" Right? I always think of myself just as a regular guy. I have never put myself in the. I've never started thinking in the realm of, oh, I'm top 500 in the world. I haven't even thought that, right? So getting ranked last year, 320 was a big deal for me. And I saw people rank lower than me that I'm like, no, I love this guy. Like, this guy's absolutely great. Why me above this dude? Are you serious? And it's like, it's even more of that, like, that feeling. It's not imposter syndrome. Now, I've had imposter syndrome before with NWA. The fact that I was wrestling consistently there for the first couple seasons, and that I was having actual matches, that I was winning matches. I thought a lot of myself before getting into pro wrestling because I had a lot of aspirations. I had a lot of dreams for what I wanted to do with this. And I felt like I could be really good, right? That I have a lot of potential, that there's so much I can do. And I even remember writing a social media post that I kind of just sent to myself, and I guess I posted after a few months. That was kind of like a little poem to myself where I said, "Why not me?" What I have to answer that question every time, and I like going back to it and having it come up in my memories because I have to say, "Why not me?" Right? I have to explain to myself every time I feel like I'm an imposter, I'm in a place I shouldn't be. And I even felt that when I won the World Television Championship. I still felt the imposter syndrome. I didn't know what to do as a champion, right? Why not me? Why is that not okay for me? Why is that something that Matthew Mims can't do? Is it because the fact that I didn't grow up with my dad consistently in my house? Is it because the fact that I was the only boy raised in a house full of women? Was it the fact that, like, I don't know, we were house poor growing up? What is it supposed to be that disqualifies me from being anything and everything that I want to be? What is it that does that? And if I can continue to go through all those lists of different things about my life that aren't exactly perfect, or in somebody else's idea of normal, And I still see it as, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would that disqualify me from anything? Is it because I'm black? Is it because I can't see without these glasses? Is it because all my teeth ain't the straightest or whatnot? What is it? And I love being able to, at different points in my career, come up with no answer for it. Why not me? And yeah, that poem was more about becoming world heavyweight champion at some point. And I still have to ask that same thing to myself. Why not me? And I think even more people are asking that question about me. And that's even before the Mr. 100 rating here is why can't Mims be world champion? Why can't he be national champion as long as he wants to be? Why can't he not go here? Why can he not do this? Why can he not wrestle in this place? Why can he not wrestle all around the world and do whatever he puts his mind to? Why can he not wrestle against this person and win? Why? What makes sense to say that this is somebody that is to be denied instead of saying that everything with this guy is undeniable? And until this conversation, this is the first time since seeing the news about me being number 100 that I've asked myself, why not me at 100? I was okay with 320 and still surprised and shocked with it, and that made me okay, right? I eventually was just like, yeah, no, that makes sense. And I expected less than what I got this year, but why would I expect less? Why should I expect less than 100? Why should next year, because I already started getting the idea in my head because I was like, man, is this a fluke? Is this real? There's no way. Why do I have the idea in my head that I can't be 50? Why? And what are the qualifying questions we could ask about that? Like, no, I'm interviewing you guys. I'm asking you, why could Mims not be in the top 50 when it comes to next year?
Feel like you hold the cards. I mean, if you continue with the why not me attitude, they're just gonna have to acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
If your reign when your reign continues,
yes,
they'll be forced. They'll be forced to, regardless of tactics or it's a run.
It is a run. It's a marathon that I continue to run, and I want to run it to the best of my ability because there's somebody else who hasn't started this race yet, who hasn't gotten to the marathon yet, that they need to see that I'm going to continue to run this as far and as fast as I can. They need to be able to see it. Hopefully it's not with me tearing my quad, but somebody's got to see these moments that get you inspired enough to say, you know what, I think I can do this. Not because he's not great, but because he is great, because this guy has such a reaction, because this guy seems like he's important, because I relate to this man in some sort of way, whether it's dreads, glasses, or my number dyslexia. I don't even know where that comes from. But all these things make you think, why not me? And I want people to ask that question when they see me there. Because I ask that question when I can see somebody like R-Truth in the WWE doing things at a high level. When I saw him as NWA World Heavyweight Champion, when I've seen people that I know personally hold these belts, when I've seen people that I know personally succeed in professional wrestling or succeed in things outside of professional wrestling, why can't I do the same thing? There isn't a reason for it. Stop barking, little chihuahua boy. Sorry, I have a dog right underneath me, and he's been here the whole time keeping me company.
I have a cat sitting right here. I was like, come on, girl, move.
See, I think he was barking at my cat. I don't even know where my little black cat is at. But with all that, I am sitting here now contemplating why not top 50. And the only questions I can ask myself are, well, when you see the top 50, it's a WWE guy or an AEW guy or this guy or that guy or an NJPW guy. Okay, why not NWA? Tom Latimer made 44. Why can't Tom Latimer make top 20? Why can't I make top 20? Why can't we continue to succeed? Because it's not like we're bad professional wrestlers. We wouldn't be ranked. If we were bad, we wouldn't be ranked. And that's not to say anybody who isn't ranked is bad. That's not to say that. That's just saying you may not be achieving at a level that got noticed, right? Because I like to think that not everybody who has a contract or is holding a belt is the greatest wrestler of all time, right? They may not even be the best ever. There may be tons of guys out on the indies here that never get noticed, that didn't have either the drive or the opportunity or the network to be at the same level as these guys. Anybody can beat anybody on any day. The next LeBron James could be somebody who's just shooting out at the local park, who's never going to get an opportunity to be LeBron James. But he going to be LeBron James here at his local park, and that's it. And he ain't going to go anywhere else. That's not anything to shit on that person. It's just to say that sometimes when you have that opportunity, when you have that in front of you and you can achieve, why put the barriers up for yourself? In the first and most important barriers, and these are the barriers I try every single day to make for sure that I don't have, are right up here. I am not the religious type at all, right? But they say no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It's no barrier formed against me shall prosper, because I've had a lot of barriers in my life and a lot of barriers in my career that have not worked. I get thrown to the fire, I get put in situations where I'm supposedly going to fail and I still succeed. Or I bumble my way through it, and guess what? You liked it better the way I did it, and you didn't know I was going to succeed. I failed properly. I failed successfully, or I was just successful. See, and that's kind of like a very long-winded way to say like where I'm at with getting this ranking of 100 and like being inspired and feeling motivated, because I feel like I've been appreciated in pro wrestling more than I already appreciate myself. And I'm just trying to match up the level of appreciation for myself that other people have for me. Because there's one thing with being humble, there's one thing with being modest, but if I'm not seeing myself at least halfway as much as other people see me, then I got to do a better job.
Yeah.
Motivation to improve. That's all it is. Top 50 is where we're going, and after that, top 20, and then top 2, and then number 1 for many, many moons. That's where we're going to. It's always new plateaus.
Yeah, and if you think people dislike you now, wait till you get into the top 20. Then they'll say, "Oh, why is he here?" The higher you get to the top, the more haters you get.
Oh yeah, I don't think you live life for haters, and I don't always like that saying where people are like, "Yeah, you ain't doing it right if nobody hates you." I mean, I want everybody to like me. I want to like everybody. I just learned that you can't do everything and please everybody, and you're gonna go crazy if you try to.
Yeah.
But
we appreciate that answer. Do you mind if we get into a little wrestling talk?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wrestling talk on a wrestling show? That's crazy.
Just taking a slight step back, but again, big strong Mims, and you are very powerful in the ring. You have had matches with guys your size, very, very few larger than you, but were there any influences to your style, or if you would just like to speak to superstars or wrestlers who you just try to model your wrestling after, who would some of those be, and why?
Yeah, I would say one of those people that I've met that I was really inspired by was Ron Simmons. I wanted to follow in his influence and follow in his footsteps. And then also our resident legend in the African American space, Mr. Elijah Burke, and I've told him as much to his face, and told him how much it meant for me to be able to tag with him at the Crockett Cup. It was a big deal. It's a big deal right now that we are putting the boots to each other. This still means a lot to me. This is somebody who is was a favorite on my TV screens or whatnot when I was growing up, and you got to let people know how much you appreciate them as much as you can every step of the way. And even with that, I'm still beat him up though. But hey, I got to do my job. My job is beating people up, and I'm sorry, he's the people, and he gonna get beat up. Even though he's a legend, I respect him fully for what he's done. But it's time for me to take the torch and keep on going. But I think when it came to my style, like I was trying to emulate a lot of other people. Like I wanted to emulate Ron. I wanted to emulate JBL because I really liked how JBL wrestled. Like I thought that was a really good style. Like it's more of that like Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody style. And now as a heel because I'm a bad guy or whatever. No, like I think whenever companies come out and they say there's no heels, there's no good guys or bad guys, you're being a little bit reductive to the conversation. What the conversation should be is that technically, do we really have good guys and bad guys? Yes and no. Yes, we do, because some people can be bad guys, some people can be good guys, but that's all up to your perspective. The villain is just somebody who has their own lie that they believe as truth. It's a truth to them. It's they're speaking to their own truth. They have their own convictions about their own truth. And then when it comes to a hero, he just also has another truth that he believes, but it just doesn't happen to be a lie. And it's all based on the perspective of the audience. I mean, hey, I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. You change the perspective on how that show was run. Vegeta's a good guy. Goku's a bad guy. It depends on what your perspective is, especially when it comes to the audience. So again, in pro wrestling, it's the exact same thing. You could have people that could side with me in this whole feud between me and Pope. You could have people that side with Pope in this whole thing. I mean, they're wrong, but also you could be one of those people that are wrong. That's cool.
That's right.
I'm rooting for everybody black, by the way.
The what?
I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yeah, all the black, but they got two black guys fighting against. Okay, all right.
I win. That's wins.
We all win when the black guys fight. Wait, that sounds a little racist.
Not that, but when we elevate each other to the point where y'all are fighting and all eyes are on you guys, that's where it is. Where you have make history, that's where it makes.
See, okay. I was like, I remember a part in Django where that wasn't too great when the black guys fighting each other.
No, we are not. We are not the Sambos, none of that now.
But yeah, with that style, like I think I've kind of emulated like my own version of a Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, Brawl to Fall style. Like that's kind of like it's always been like my favorite form of football, right? Because when I played football for the 7 or 8 years I played, I was on the offensive and defensive line. So you are hitting the hardest outside of, a linebacker or a safety that gets lucky and hits a really good crack shot, right? So for me, you're coming off that line. It's whoever is best, right? It's usually a 1-on-1 thing or a 2-on-1 thing, but technique, strength, size, all those things can matter. I was still smaller than a lot of those guys. I had a little growth spurt after I got out of football before I started playing semi-pro, but I never really had a lot of weight to me. You know what I mean? So even with that, it's still hard hitting. You learn to hit as hard as you can. You play what's called smash mouth football. So whenever you bring that into a wrestling match, it's something that makes me feel more alive than any other style of wrestling. So having that hard hitting style where essentially a lot of people can just look at it as you guys are just beating the shit out of each other. You're telling a story, but you are beating the absolute shit out of each other. Obviously, it's safe. You're letting the guy, like, if we're pulling in some kayfabe here or whatnot and taking that, throwing out the window, you lay it in snug, not stiff. You're making for sure the dude makes it home with everything that he came in with and that he's able to go home and feed his family because, hey, this is a sport, but it's also a business, right? But still having that hard-hitting match where you're just like, no, I earned my pay today. I earned my money today. And I think it's always fun to try to emulate that style, and I try to do that every time I can. I feel like that's what a JBL puts into his matches. I feel like that's what a Ron Simmons or Butch Reed put into their style of matches. But I also like to be somebody who's like a very good all-around in traditional technical style, like somebody who can really go with anybody. Like I try to emulate that from Triple H or even a Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle, a very technical wrestler in his own style, but he's somebody who can melt to anybody. Look at all the matches he had with Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio, and then the matches he would switch over to with an Undertaker or a Kane, and then you see a completely different match with the Chris Benoit, who's another very technical wrestler, or you go over to Triple H, who's another person who's a more traditional, grounded style like worker who can basically do anything, is a jack of all trades, and is kind of, if you're thinking of like, oh, I'm creating a character, right? And you got your centerpiece right here, and you can branch off in all the different ways. Triple H is right in the center. Like that is your quintessential, like kind of perfect starter or just perfect wrestler in general because he ticks every single box. And that's kind of what I wanted to be, is to be either that Triple H or that Kurt Angle, or melt them into the two. I can do the technical stuff. I can do the more flashy stuff. A lot of it I ain't gonna do. But I want to be able to say I can do it. I want to be able to look at every match I have and say, yeah, I didn't wrestle the same match multiple times. Yeah, I'm not doing the same thing in every single match. You got moves of mine, but this style is different. I work with this guy. My style is different here. It's different here. It's different there. Not so much a style bender, just, the ultimate wrestler, I guess.
Right.
He can go with anybody. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
That's good. That's real good. Look,
Yeah.
It's important to just be able to go with anybody, because it allows you to be more marketable. Because at the end of the day, if I can go up against, like you were saying, Triple H goes up against, Kurt Angle, or he goes up against, a Flair or Randy Orton, or it goes up against Undertaker or Shawn Michaels, who's his best friend and whatnot, like that allows you to say, hey, look, put me in whatever, and I'm going to make magic out of it. And those are the wrestlers that you always remember. You remember Kurt Angle doing the funny stuff, but at the end of the day, you remember when Kurt Angle is going to give you 7 minutes at SummerSlam. I want to say that was 02. 02, yes, with Rey Mysterio, where it's like, I gave you 7 minutes of heaven, basically. Like, that match, amazing. So, understood completely.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think it's always important to be able to melt and mold with anybody. You want to be the guy that can go anywhere and wrestle a good match with anybody. Like, you want to be that ring general, as a lot of people will call it in the business, and a lot of people don't. If you're not in the business, it's going to be even harder for you to understand exactly what a ring general is, right? Let's say, like, for example, Gunther has that name, the ring general, right? And in a lot of ways, you can take that and decipher that into so many ways. If me as a professional wrestler, I see somebody and I think of them as a ring general, I know this guy is always going to know where he's at, what he's doing, what's next, and is always going to be able to feel it out and have the perfect move set up next. He's going to have the perfect idea set up next. This is the guy that you're working with, where you're just like, okay, not only are we going to have a fantastic match, no matter what, we're going to have a fantastic match. I'm probably going to have fun doing it. I'm probably going to have a good time afterwards, because I'm going to sit here and not shut up about it for the rest of the night, probably the rest of the day. We have a potential for a classic here. And I think that's always a great feeling that I get in professional wrestling, where I wrestle somebody where I'm thinking, we probably going to steal the show. We might not get that much, but we probably going to steal the show. Like, we might only get 6 minutes to go out there, but it's going to be the best 6 minutes anybody ever saw. It's me in there with old boy over here that I know just, this man about his scraps. This man about his squabbles. You know what he's doing. That kind of thing. So yeah, that's the kind of style that I try to. That's the kind of style I want to emulate, is somebody who's more of a ring general, a multi-tool that is just good at everything. Not a jack of all trades, master of none, in the sense that, there's not one thing he does right, like the absolute best. But I want to say somebody who's so good at everything, they're just great all around. That kind of idea. And it's funny that it's even so hard to describe that style in the first place. Like, just a one word, like, oh, this is a style, right? Yeah. But I still want to be that. If anything, I can still remember the conversation with Nick Aldis around 2020, where we were still training, and I think NWA was on a hiatus, and he was trying to put some new stuff together. And he was talking with me and my best friend Miguel, and he was just like, this is the thing. We want to start training you guys to be able to call these matches on the fly, right? We don't want you planning anything beforehand. We want you to be able to just go out there and just work. Just get out there, feel it out, do what you feel, and have a good match, right? We at NWA, as he was saying at the time, he was just like, we need ring generals. We don't just need somebody who can go out there and do the moves and plan a whole bunch of stuff out. We need somebody who can really feel this, really get into the nitty gritty of this, and understand what professional wrestling is. And if you remember at the beginning of this conversation, I said what pro wrestling is and what it's measured in. Is it measured in moves? Is it measured in matches? Is it measured in promos? Yes, and also absolutely not. It is measured in moments.
Moments.
Listen, yes, sir.
Yeah, can you get in there and make moments happen? If you're a ring general, your job and your focus is always moments. You know how to, in any match, in anywhere, in any place, at any time, make a moment. Moments make classics. Classics make more moments. It's moments upon moments because wrestling is always about the some guys said moments. Yes, that's that's what wrestling is about.
I have to ask, how being national heavyweight champion, what does that mean to you?
I have to look at my own personal story and say what that means to me. What it means to me now is comfort. It's being in the driving seat. I was told a long time ago by Crimson, by Crazy Steve, like, they're the two that stick in my head the most when they've told me the same thing. You get into pro wrestling and you're going to kind of bumble through it. And you're going to figure things out. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to get a lot of heat. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. It's just how pro wrestling works. But when you hit that mark, it's usually a 5-year mark or something like that. That's where most people hit it, and everything clicks. It just clicks. You just get it, right?
Right.
There's a point usually, like they said, at 5 years is the usual. Some people it takes a little bit longer for it all just to click, right? And you become comfortable. You get comfortable in the ring. You get comfortable with everything. You just find where you are and you learn who you are in pro wrestling, right? That NWA National Heavyweight title represents that. There was not imposter syndrome when I won that title. When I came home with that title, in the moment was fully real. It was a very similar situation to winning the NWA World Television Championship, except there wasn't imposter syndrome. I felt like I belonged where I was. I felt like I had a new responsibility in my life that I had earned. And this is my second title I've ever won ever. I ain't won a single title on the Indies. Man, on the Indies, I suck, bro. I ain't won a damn thing, not even close. But when it came to this is my second chance at having something where it's just me.
Right.
There's nobody else I can rely on with this. This belt is a reflection of the hard work that I put in. And it's telling me, hey, you've not only, this wasn't a fluke, this wasn't a one-time thing that you were given the ball and told to run as hard as you could. You were given it twice. That means you can get it again, and you can get it again, and you can get it as many more times as you're willing to put that work in for. So what the NWA national title meant for me is that I finally found out what my place is in professional wrestling. It's not so much about the title itself and lineage, and it has a very long lineage, one that is incredibly historic, in incredibly like pressurizing for me. It puts a lot of pressure on me to be a great national champion, right? There's been a lot of great ones. People that I've known personally, people that have been mentors to me have held this same title. So what am I going to do to set myself as different or even better? Because that's my responsibility too. I got to be better. I can't just be one of the champions. I have to be the best one. I want to be the latest and the greatest, not just the latest. So it represents me finding my place here, where I got comfortable in NWA, where I got comfortable in pro wrestling, was just a few months after I won this title. Before that, hey, everybody gets nervous all the time. It still happens to this day. But I haven't had as much faith in myself as I've had with having the national title. And that's what means so much to me. This last year of my life, year and some change, has been extremely important. I think this is what determines, not just if I come into pro wrestling and I have a good time. No, if I come into pro wrestling and I make a legendary career out of this, it starts with this title. That's the accolade that I'll hold up above my head as, no, this is where it happened. I'm getting, and it's proven now, right? Not just winning the national title, but also the amount of followers go up, the amount of money that has made has gone up tremendously. The traveling that I'm doing, the opportunities to work with bigger and better people and to do more in this business have continued to go up. I have I have seen a lot more attention. I've seen a lot more respect. I've seen a lot more people come my way and wonder what I'm going to do next. I've seen some of the same people that would probably look down on me and not see me as their equal. There's a lot of my peers now, people that I've watched on television, people that I see as vets that I come to for advice, that mentor me, that see me as an equal. They no longer, Mims, what are you talking about, bro? Yeah, I can totally yeah, of course we're gonna work together. Why are you holding me up on this pedestal? Because you like I watch you on TV. You're the guy. I'm just some dude working with you. No, Mims, dude. What are you talking about? You're champion. You're a national champion right now. What are you? Get out of here. Get out of your head. How are you still like this? Like, come on, bro. You look at what you've done so far. When I have people having that conversation with me over and over again, seeing me as on their level when I've only seen them as this unattainable pipe dream of a goal, that's what this belt has confirmed for me. This is what this title and this position has done for me. And though I wrote that poem about why not me, actually a year or so before I even won the TV title, I actually feel that even more now for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. This is the point in my life where I've never had more faith, not only that I can be that I know it's coming, that I already deserve it, that I'm somebody who I feel like I'm not just going to hold the belt and go on about my day. I'm not just going to be a holder of a belt. I'm going to be the guy. In the national title. This run so far with the national title has confirmed all my very positive suspicions about myself and my career. Is confirmation. That's what all this is. We can wrap this up in a nice bow of how do I feel about it? What does it mean to me? Confirmation.
Yeah, because that's beautiful. Because really, what I hear is determined but humble.
Yeah.
Determined but humble.
Yeah. What is it? I was told you got to humble yourself before somebody else humbles you. Yeah. Right. And I'm not trying to let somebody else humble me more than I already got in my way. I know there's going to be a lot more humbling going on in my life, but I ain't trying to add on to the pile. You know, humble pie don't always taste that great, but you can put as much whipped cream on it as possible to make a little bit less of it.
That's facts.
Yeah, man. That's true. That's true, man. But look, we appreciate what you do. We appreciate what you represent. We appreciate your words. This felt like therapy, truth be told. Like it felt like you was giving us some good. Like I wrote some stuff down. Why not me? Why not 4TL? Why not Mims to be NWA heavyweight champion and then go on to be whichever heavyweight champion wants to be or a champion wants to be? Why not us?
Exactly. Amen. Why not you? Why not somebody who's watching and or listening to this? Why not you in whatever position that you're going for? Why not you in a position you don't even know that you want just yet or that will fit you even better just yet? Brother, if I was exactly what I thought I was going to be growing up before pro wrestling came into my life, because I was always told I had potential. My grandfather, who I absolutely love, rest in peace, he used to always say, well, Matthew's got something going. Matthew's going to do whatever he puts his mind to, and he's going to do it well. He just doesn't know what it is yet. And, you know, unfortunately, he passed before he got to see exactly what it was that I had my mindset to. That was finally the thing. I felt the potential in pro wrestling skyrocket. It turned kinetic whenever the first time I walked out of that student show to face Jeremiah Plunkett. I didn't even know what I really wanted, where I really fit. Even just when I made that agreement with my best friend, I thought pro wrestling was what I was going to do. I felt that spark there that made me think, okay, this is the right decision. This is the right conversation. But after doing football, being a natural, doing amateur wrestling, being a natural, doing baseball, doing all these other things or whatnot, and feeling like I'm getting close to the spark, but it's this just ain't it yet. Right? If I could go back, I'd give myself so much more grace, because it's just, I had the tools. I didn't know my entire life was just leading up to this.
Yeah.
Like, I sometimes think, man, I should have gotten to wrestling earlier. I remember the first thing Dr. Tom Pritchard ever said to me when I did one of his seminars a few months before I started training. He was like, oh, you're 26? Why'd you start so late? Because I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I'd be good at. If I would have known this before, I would have been jumping on it before. But also, hey, as we found out through my life story or my wrestling story, things happen at the right time for the right reasons in the right places. I just happened to be where I was supposed to be. I'm not the LeBron James of the local park. I'm going to be the LeBron James of the NWA
Amen.
over here, you know, in whatever other 3-letter company that I want to be a part of right now and for the foreseeable future. This MIMS and NWA. This is my company. When I say that, I actually believe it. It has always been my company. I want to be one of those people that you associate with NWA. When you think NWA, you think this guy, and of course MIMS. Of course, that's NWA. It ain't nobody else but this guy. Homegrown, home rooted, fantastic talent you can't see nowhere else but NWA. Yeah. God, I love wrestling. I love wrestling so much.
That was a mic drop, honestly. That's a mic drop. Like, why not be the face of NWA? Why not?
Exactly.
Who else?
Right?
Who else? Yeah, exactly.
They ain't gonna let them take
Who
it from
better?
me.
Exactly. They just got to do better than me. And hey, I love competition because I usually win. Oh man. Yeah. I like I said, it's the passion and love for wrestling. So you guys talked about how you appreciated me, and I may have said it before, but I'll say it again. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate a platform like this. Big, small, and in between podcasts, interviews, commentary, and critics. All of them keep this going. They make what I do worth doing it. It's an art, it's a sport at the same damn time. And we can't make it better without other people enjoying it, other people creating a passion from it. And we are doing nothing here but spending a whole hour and 1 minute being passionate about a shared passion. And this is such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Big Strong Mims, national heavyweight champion of NWA.
Oh, that's me. That's me.
It's been a pleasure. Keep doing the damn thing. Keep getting strong on them. Keep getting big.
Without
Absolutely.
injury.
Without injury.
Without injury.
That's the first and foremost thing. Yes.
Yes.
And bro, you 4TL family now. So hit us up. Let us know when you want to come by. We can chop about anything you want. You want to cut a promo real quick on Pope or Tom Latimer?
Yeah, anything you want to get off your chest. Anything.
Yes.
Oh, well, of course. Like, if anything, the whole promo is the entire show that we've been on. But if you want something that's short and sweet, the promo is that this right here, this thing with a little bit of scraggly beard or whatnot. You know, I just got done working out again, even though I wasn't supposed to. This thing, this is the face of the NWA. This is the bicep of the NWA. This is the middle finger of the NWA. This is the big black oxygen sucking nose of the NWA, and this big black oxygen's huge nostril nose smells that the future is me, not with the NWA National Heavyweight Championship, though I love my baby girl Natty to death, and she's done so many things for me because she's so sweet to Daddy Mimsy. The future that I'm smelling, that God, that smells good, is with this face at the forefront of the NWA, holding the NWA world. See, I almost called out Natty again. That's how much I love my baby. But we're moving on. She'll understand when I break up with her. She'll understand that I got to be with a new woman. I got to be with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. She's been calling my name for a long time. And let's see, Daddy's about to answer. I don't think it's going to be that long before my NWA World Heavyweight Championship is here in the daddy's home. But you know, Pope can do what he can do, which right now is limping. He ain't pimping, he's limping. Tom Latimer can do whatever he wants to do, right? He can make all the great speeches, he can get as tan as he wants, he can have as happy of a little family as he wants. That's great. That's cool. But when it comes to professional wrestling, when it comes with NWA, simply put, it's MIMS all day. It's MIMS all day. Why am I? It's MIMS. It's me. I make it make sense. I MIMS all over it. I make it make sense. And that made sense. It's not only because a lot of that rhymed and because a lot of it sounded cool. It's because it's inevitable. It's undeniable. And again, it's MIMS.
Well said.
Oh my goodness. That
Ladies
MIMS
and
guy.
gentlemen,
Just give him the belt.
yeah, just give him the belt.
Just give that guy the belt and like a few extra zeros on my paycheck.
Oh yeah, they ain't doing this for free.
Oh yeah.
Big Strong Mims, we thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for making this happen and just talking about everything that is MIMS from way back then to now.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. From 4TL, this was our interview with MIMS with no time limit. Can't wait to see what you do next, but we know it's gonna be top 50 for next year.
Oh yeah. Top 20. Screw top 50. Top 20.
Okay.
Actually, top 4. TL.
Oh.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
I
Appreciate
like
you, bro.
it.